The Vervet Monkey Foundation is located in the Limpopo province of South Africa, and it works tirelessly to give a second chance to monkeys that are rescued from the pet trade, abused, are ex-laboratory monkeys, or are just in need of permanent sanctuary. Currently, the site has over 500 monkeys in need of daily care. Like so many primate species in the world today, vervet monkeys are being hugely impacted by vast deforestation and habitat destruction. As a result, they're being pushed further into urban areas and facing a huge amount of human-wildlife conflict, persecution, and capture for the exotic pet trade. In fact, in some areas, they're even viewed as pests or vermin. But the reality is that these monkeys are incredibly social and intelligent animals, and they are just as worthy of our respect as any other species. The vervet monkey is not considered an at-risk population, but their numbers in the wild are declining. Their troop numbers can reach around 120 individuals, but with the threats they face today, they now rarely exceed 50. It is so important that we start working with the species and learning about the issues they face before their numbers start becoming critical. And that is why the work at the Vervet Monkey Foundation is so important. They work not only with vervet monkeys, but also a small troop of Samango monkeys and any other animal that comes through in need of help. This includes taking in orphan monkeys during the hectic baby season and teaching them valuable skills they will need to live without their mothers, so that eventually they can be introduced to new foster families on site and live their lives as naturally as possible. Rox here arrived at the foundation in early 2020. He was found still clinging to the body of his mother after many of his troop members were killed in a road accident. He had 2 broken legs, one of which we eventually had to amputate, and many other small wounds. Over the course of his time in human care, he went through a lot of medical intervention, a treatment for a bad case of oral thrush, and had a lot of behavioral rehabilitation to deal with his trauma. But in the end, Rox was introduced to a new family on site and removed from human care entirely. He now lives in a troop where he can climb trees and play and grow up how a monkey should, with a real second chance at life. Seeing these orphans being accepted by their new troops and really starting to flourish when they're around their own kind again, it's one of the most amazing feelings. They also rehabilitate ex-pets or monkeys with severe behavioral difficulties, and of course care for those with long-term physical conditions that may not be able to survive in the wild. The end goal of the Vervet Monkey Foundation is to establish an environment where humans and wildlife can learn to coexist. And they do this through their work with the local community, which aims to understand the underlying causes of conflict with vervet monkeys and research and develop solutions, while also providing education about the value of vervet monkeys to ecosystems. Eventually, the aim is to establish the vervet forest, land where vervets and other species in need of a second chance can be released and protected from persecution. This project aims not only to help these wildlife populations, but also to involve local communities with the development of employment opportunities, and to eventually host international educational workshops on primatology and peaceful coexistence. But none of this can happen unless the daily running of the site is taken care of, and the team is free to fundraise and take part in outreach events. Over the past year, income has been largely cut off from the sanctuary, and they've suffered from increased costs of vital supplies and a highly depleted workforce. Right now, they need all the support that they can get to make sure that both the monkeys and their staff can be taken care of, and that they can continue to look towards the future. So thank you for your interest in the Vervet Monkey Foundation, as well as donating to fundraisers. A really easy way to support their work is by subscribing to their YouTube channel and letting the ads run on their videos. This is also a really good way to stay up to date with the day-to-day work being done there and the progress towards the development of the vervet forest. Let's help create a world where humans and wildlife can coexist and where every life is respected.